Hey everybody, Cam Capital here with another video today on April 13th. This video is going to be about Riot Blockchain, so ticker RIOT. So obviously Bitcoin set new all-time highs last night, early this morning, up into 63,769. Couldn't find it right there on the cursor, but definitely Bitcoin's moving up higher. We got the Coinbase IPO tomorrow, so Bitcoin could be pretty volatile. As you know, Coinbase will basically bring some extra eyes to Bitcoin as crypto is becoming more accepted on terms of Wall Street, and just basically bringing a lot more hands into contact with Bitcoin. Obviously, so Coinbase, you have derivatives, options, everything. So it'd be interesting to see if Bitcoin becomes more correlated to the stock market or less going forward. So Riot also had some news today because of that Bitcoin price increase, and it's from Citron Research. So they had a tweet out on them, basically saying that if Riot would have just bought Bitcoin instead of doing share buybacks, instead of having $1 a share be equal to Bitcoin, they'd have $26 per share equal to Bitcoin right now. So obviously a huge difference. So you could say that's a massive mistake in hindsight, especially looking at future projections for Bitcoin for the company. But they focused on mining, so that's their company's game plan. But we got a big pop here with Riot today. It was far stronger than Mara. So Riot was up $7 a day, up 15%, closed at 59.26. Mara, you can see down just here, down bottom left on the watch list, closed at 51, so up 93 cents. So really only up about 2%. So obviously Riot had the momentum today. And so here we'll see the daily chart, increased volume, 42 million shares traded today. We had basically been trading in this area of consolidation since the high 79.5 back on February 17th. So you just here see long term, right? So over the last year, definitely have taken off all the way up. Before we made this move here in November, we're sitting between $4, essentially 417, 381 is the candle I'm hovering on right now, 79.5. So basically 20 times move. So using that fib level from 100% to the low, 79.5, basically we got the bounce off the 50 here at the beginning of March, and then this base at the end of March we got the bounce off the 50% fib, moved up higher, pulled back, consolidated around the 61.8 fib again, basically get some spinning tops here right on the 61, can't break it, and then we get a gap up over the weekend. And gap over the weekend yesterday, still red candle day, but held the moving averages. Big gap up again as Bitcoin set those new all-time highs overnight, and buyers really pushed this thing up in the later half of the day. Obviously, as you can see here, we basically we have that long candle below, so buyers came in real strong and supported that moving average going up. Excuse me. And you'll see just by looking at volume, we basically did close right at this volume block around $60. So we poked that 60, got to 59.96. Couldn't break through that wall today, but we can look forward to that tomorrow if Bitcoin stays up. Bitcoin did sell off in the second half of the trading day, but held that 62.5 level. So we could be looking for a big night with Bitcoin again. So here we'll go down to the 5-minute chart. Just look at intraday action. So obviously we got that big gap up, sell off in the morning, some profit taking occurring, but we couldn't really break through the block of consolidation yesterday, right? So we poked through that 53 briefly, but that 53 was basically the midpoint of yesterday's range, and then we scale higher, right? So we get to bounce, reclaim the moving averages. You can probably see it better here on the 15-minute, but reclaim the moving averages, then bounce off the 50 EMA, on the 15-minute chart, then use the 22, move up higher, quick pullback right before power hour, and then got a solid bounce, basically closing out the highs, and now moving sideways here after hours. One thing I like to look at too with these charts, just like I did with Tesla too, if we go back out to daily here using the standard deviation levels, you see basically we closed right about that 1 1 standard deviation away from the normal. So neutral solid line is a 0 point. Solid green is 1 standard deviation away. Basically what we hit right at the close, or excuse me, well, the high basically was at the close. Weren't able to break through it right away. One thing, especially with just the way these charts are done, and because Riot's made this incredible move this last year, 50 cents, 79.5. According to the weekly, right, we're outside of the 3 standard deviation zone. So basically, how the standard dev works is your standard bell curve for so 1 standard deviation away. So from +1 to -1, 68% of the time, roughly, the stock will stay between those zones. You go out to 2, that's about 95% of the time. You go out to red, like to stay in there about 99% of the time. So we are, in terms of a standard dev, really overbought and out of range on the weekly. But obviously, Bitcoin's had great strength. Everybody talked about a bubble, comparing it to the tulip craze, and it's looking like it's going to continue to run, following that parabolic curve higher. Whether you're looking at it on a log scale or not. And with these crypto stocks that are tracking Bitcoin, honestly, you're going to have a similar reaction. All of that muted, as it is in moving just in sympathy and off their business model. But that would give you a case for this to keep moving higher, even though this line would represent we're really on the tail end of probabilities here. But moving those away from the weekly, we'll go down here to the hourly look at zone. So still looking at a wall right about the $60. So if we can get through that $60 range tomorrow, we could move higher pretty quickly. And just to look at it here on the daily, right, so we still have that little block of 60 volume, and then we have that consolidation here around 62, and then above that, if we can get to that half deed mark, we'll be pushing $70 here if Bitcoin's rally continues. So that's what I got for you guys. Let me know your guys' thoughts on Bitcoin moving forward. Riot, it doesn't have to be in general. What do you guys think about tomorrow and Coinbase and their IPO? If that's something you guys are interested in, let me know in the comments. Appreciate you taking the time to watch the video, and we'll see you in the next one.